Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello everyone, I'm back with the second video. In this video, before digging deeper into the statistical analysis of the real-time data, I would like to cover very few basic and important functions of R. I believe before working into the analysis part, these 3 to 4 functions are very important that everyone must know and understand before working on the real-time data set. So in that, first of all, we need to set the directory. So what directory is? Directory is actually a folder where we save the documents. We save the outputs of the analysis of the R, and where we deposit our charts and graphs and everything. And simultaneously directory is used for to read the data from. So it's actually a folder of the computer which has a sort of connection with R. So that is very important, that everyone should know about their own directory of R. So how can we find out about our directory? So there is a function for it, getWD. So you just have to write getWD and you have to put these parentheses. You don't need to write anything inside the parentheses. So see, it says that my current directory is in the C folder, and inside that C the folder name is users, and then HP, and then documents. So I have to travel through these 4 folders to reach my directory. So I have already a folder in my D file which I have named as R. So let's set that file as my directory. So if I set that, there is a function for it, setWD. You have to write setWD, and inside this parenthesis you have to write D, because I have to set my directory in the D folder, and inside these D folder you have to put these 2 colons, and then this slash backslash, and then I have to write R. So the folder name is R. So let me show you that folder first in my data. So if you see in the D file, here is a folder R. So this is, I want to set this specific folder as my directory. So what I've done, I've append down setWD, D and R. So now my directory has been set to this file. So let's once again check our directory, that what it is right now. So again use this getWD function. See, my directory has changed to this D folder, and inside this D folder I have another folder R. So this is the very first and very basic function that everyone must understand in order to work in R, because you need to set your directory first, because from that directory you will read data, and in that specific directory you will deposit the outputs and the charts. So this is about directory. So if you want to see what sort of files I have in this directory, so for that we have a function dir. You have to write down dir, and you have to keep those parentheses or brackets as as empty, and then you have to press the enter button. See, so I've got all these data sets in my directory. So if you see, I've got some 104 files in my directory, in which I've got some charts, plots and data sets. So through dir you can find out that what sort of data sets and charts I have in my directory. So this was the very first function. Let's rub all these, let's brush them. Okay, so now I've set my directory. Second most important function before moving forward towards the analysis is that you need to know about the installation of of different packages, how it works, because in R we have very limited number of functions in the base package. You need to download packages for different sort of activities. So for example, if you want to work with the time series data, there is a package for it, T series. Similarly, if you want to work on the spillover, you have a package for it, spillover. So packages are actually a sort of a group of functions that are amalgamated in one single file, and that is actually a package which you need to download and install inside R. So for example, we have a package for the plotting and the visualization of data, which we call ggplot2. So if I want to install that package, how I gonna install that? For that, you have to use this function, install.packages. Install.packages, and inside these parentheses you have to put the name of that specific package, and inside these parentheses you have to put these commas, and inside those commas you have to write the name of that package. For example, that package is ggplot2 C. So it has started installing that package. So okay, it has started. So see, it has installed that package. But remember, only installation doesn't work. You have to library it as well in order to work and on those function that is actually located in this specific package. So for the library, what you have to do, you have to write down this library, and inside library you have to write the name of that ggplot2. For the library, you don't need to put the commas inside this parenthesis. You just have to write the ggplot2 inside the parenthesis. So remember, for the installation we have got a function install.packages, and for the library we have got this function library, right? So press enter. Now we have this package inside our R. So in order to find out what do we have in this specific package, just write down ggplot2, and then these two I don't know whether these are colons or semicolons. So we have got some 30 to 40 function inside this specific package. So all of them are the functions inside this specific package of ggplot2. So till now we studied two things. The first one is setting the directory, and the second one is installing a specific package and library, how to library that specific package. That two functions are very important. Okay, the third function is actually reading a data. So we will be covering different types of data sets. Like we will be covering how to read the Excel data, how to read the SPSS data, how to read the SES data set, how to read the doc file, how to read the Python data. So we have got a lot of types of data sets. But right now let me read you a CSV file. So for that, let me first find out that whether I have any CSV file in my folder or directory or not. So for that, if you see yc.csv, there is a data named as yc.csv, if you see here. So let me read that for you. So how I can read that? So for that, you have to use this package read.csv, this function read.csv, and inside that you have to put these brackets yc.csv. So let's name this data. Let's give a name as my data. Always give a name to a data. So my data is equal to read.csv yc.csv. So now it will read that data set inside this RStudio. Okay, it has actually absorbed that data set inside it. So let's see what do we have in this data. For that, you can simply run it as my data. It will show the output here in this console, and if you want to see that in the proper rows and columns, then you can do another thing. Write view, 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 and inside this parenthesis you have to write down the name of that data, which is my data, view my data. See, so now you can see it in the proper rows and columns. Okay, so today we studied three basic and very important functions that everyone must have expertise of before doing analysis and going forward. The first one is how to set the directory. Directory is simply a folder where you deposit your results and from where you receive the data. The second one is how to install and library a package. What is a package? We had a great deal of discussion about that. The third one is how to read a file. In today's video, we only study reading only one type of file, which is a CSV file, right? So that was all about today's video. In the next video, I'm hopeful that we will directly be working on some sort of a real-time data set. So please practice on these, whatever we covered in these two videos, and I'm pretty sure that it would be very helpful for you all. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.